Congratulations for ordering the smartest program on the planet Earth to change the way you look and feel. This program is designed to change your eat, breathe, move, and think that isn't working right now for some eat, breathe, move, and think that does. When it comes to motivation, it's connected to all of the most important categories of changing the way you look and feel forever. Motivation, you know how big it is, you know how long you've been looking for it, you know how important it is, and now you know a couple of other things. You absolutely know, in the biggest exchange of your life, that motivation is not anywhere that you're going to bump into. You know that all the motivation you ever need is in the process of doing. You know that means doing like well things, like changing what you eat, changing whether or not you move. We're going to do all that, but that's where all the motivation is, because here's what happens when you get back connected with knowing that all you have to do is make different decisions. Well, what happened to me is I was just proud. I think we should change the word motivation to pride. I reached for and exchanged that for something new, and I was thrilled. And I did it every time, with eating all day, everything I did, habits that I created, not late at night. I'm just going to change that. I'm going to make sure I eat dinner. All of it. I did it with movement, like you're going to do it with movement. I did it with oxygen, just having oxygen in my life. And I was thrilled for myself. Thrilled. You know, proud of the fact that I had what it took, still not knowing what that was. It was the 80s. I don't need to say that anymore. Nobody was talking about this stuff. That's why this lifestyle exchange program, and specifically these tapes on motivation, they're designed for you to use. Watch what you need to watch, whatever segment, when you need it, however many times you do, because you absolutely need motivation to change your lifestyle forever. The enormous advantage you have with this lifestyle exchange program that's yours now forever, it's done, we're going to solve these problems, is that this inspiration and motivation is woven into the information you need and you have now. I was thrilled when I made the choices every day, one bad lifestyle habit at a time, and just exchanged it for a better one. It really was that simple. I was thrilled that I had that ability. I found the words that describe it. And you know, your program is about connecting with these things that are identifiers. They were identifiers for me. They're identifiers for every human being who is burning a ton of fat and changing the way they look and feel forever. There's a couple of things just before the power of the pause. A couple of things that if you activate within that moment, it's done. It's done. You tap in forever. Conscious, the word. I knew at 260 pounds, I know now, I think you know, the definition of the word conscious, obviously, you're awake. You're not catatonic. You're not dead. That's all I knew. But when I found out that another definition for the word, the definition for the word conscious was intentional, that word, talk about a life-changing moment. Talk about motivating. Talk about real, tangible stuff that changes your thinking forever. Intentional. 260 pounds was never my intention. Is the fat that's hanging from all over your body your intention? Did you, I don't know, write a list whenever you did it and said, boy, I hope at least I got a good 30, 40 pounds on me that gets in the way of the way I want to live and certainly the way I want to look and feel. You never intended that. Nobody intends unwell. Nobody intends over fat. Nobody intends the thousands of diseases directly, doctor, you can no longer deny, directly connected to obesity, directly connected to eating junk, to never moving, to not living well. Nobody can deny that connection anymore. I found the motivation through desperation. That's how I found it. There was nothing good about 260 pounds. It didn't look good. It didn't feel good. It didn't work in my life, helping raise 2 little babies. There was no energy. It didn't work. If I didn't intend the way I was looking and feeling and the way I was living, well, it just begs the question. There was no way to avoid this one. Life-changing moment, absolutely. It's about to be. Get ready. Who's doing the intending in your life? If you don't intend the way you look and feel, if this body is not exactly what you want, who's doing the intending in your life? That just made me mad. Just mad. I'm out there looking for motivation. I'm blaming myself the whole damn time every time I fail. And I didn't even understand that it wasn't my plan. I fell into it. Did you fall into it? They were habits. I don't even know when they got to. I was busy with the babies. Do you know when it happened? It's been years. I'm just kind of in it. I had no idea. I know. That's the point. An unwell body doesn't wake up inspired or motivated. Not because you're lazy. Not because there's anything wrong with you. Not because there was anything wrong with me. An unwell body is inspired and habitually reinforced to sit down. Sit down. I never said at 260 pounds, boy, I wish it was good enough weather so I could jog. All the motivation you will ever need is in the process of doing well things. You know it's not out there. You know you're going to find it in a moment, and now you know that that moment has some words that make a whole lot of sense. That power of the pause moment can be intentional. Well, bingo. Talk about inspiring. You want motivation? The moment I said, in Garland, Texas, with 2 babies that were asleep but not for long, fatter than I'd ever been in my life, with an ex-husband that was and still is an idiot, when I knew that I could intentionally do something that would soon, I didn't know when, I can tell you exactly when, soon, maybe I could look better. That was all I thought about at the time. You don't have to sit and meditate. You just have to do. You just have to do. Keep doing all the time. When the first time, I, for the million reasons you have, didn't go on the walk or didn't stick with the exercise for more than a week, when I went past that place and actually stuck with it, the next day and the next day and the next day, very inspiring, very motivating. It was the power of that moment of pausing, 1 minute. Remember, Susan, what do you want? You don't want to be fat anymore. You don't want that. That's not your intention. And if I'm not intending this that affects so much in my life, then that's just not okay with me. program is about you changing everything that doesn't work for you. You are going to exchange unintentional for intentional. Then you can add something else. Responsibility. Oh! When I was fat, that word, you don't even know. Responsibility. It's so irresponsible for me to eat so much and not be well, and I'm so tired, and I've got the kids, and I could never do it. So irresponsible. Why can't I just get a grip like my ex-husband's girlfriends? They were, 18 on a good day. And why can't I just do what? No, I couldn't do it. Kept failing. The power in the pause is the consciousness you bring to that moment. It's also the responsibility you bring, but I'm changing the word forever. Call Webster, I don't care. The new word, the proper word, the word that helped change, well, the way I thought forever and the way you're about to think forever. Responsibility, exit out. All you have to do is increase your response to your own ability. Okay, so here I am, thinking about all this back in the day. Here I am trying desperately to keep the truth in it, and all I keep realizing is it took me a moment. There was so much power in that pause, in that me just stopping, and I really literally had to force myself for 60 seconds someday. You know what I'm talking about. 60 seconds is a lot of time on most days. When I did and brought consciousness to that moment, what do I want? What's intentional? What do I want? My choice changed. Now you're about to bring an increase to your ability to take your hand off whatever it is that you don't like anymore, it doesn't work in your life, you're going to exit all out, exchange it, pick something else. Do you know what happens in that moment? That's where motivation is, right there in that moment. It is thrilling. It's thrilling. It's, oh my God, that means I can do it all the time. Very inspiring. That's very inspiring and it's very successful because you're going to do it over and over and over again, bringing two very power-filled things to the power of the pause, to that moment in your life as you are just giving yourself a minute to change some habits that have been built for a very long time. There's not an emotional issue. There's not a character defect. Remember, you need inspiration, motivation, and information. All three equally important. If losing all the weight you want to lose is what you want to do, increasing all the strength and energy and loving the way you look and feel, and exchanging a lifestyle that you already know is not working, simply done. So imagine this. There you are at the moment. Fill in the blank, it doesn't matter, of the old habits that don't work. And you stop for 1 minute. That's it. That's the only rule. Stop for a minute. And then you intentionally just think for a couple of seconds about what you want. To hear the sanity in that. To hear the rightness in that. All you got to do is hear it. Every woman I know understands exactly what I'm saying right now. You hear the rightness, you go, oh, ding, ding, ding. Figured that out. Done. You bring the intentional. You bring the conscious to that. Then you say to yourself, I absolutely have the ability to increase my response to not eating junk food. To not eating foods that, well, shouldn't be ingested by the human body. That's obvious. They glow in the dark. You don't need a nutritional degree to know that. You don't need to be a dietitian to know that. That looks like caca. I probably shouldn't eat it, and I've been eating it for years, and guess what? Don't look too good. You increase your response to your ability to make a different choice. There is nothing more life-changing than that, and that is where motivation is, in you doing that. Doing something well for you, something right for you, something you intended. Something you increased your response to do. Well, that is just the most inspiring thing on earth. Don't you see why I got so excited about this program? It's as schmaltzy as it gets because it's true. First, you realize you've been duped. There's no motivation waiting for you, and there never was. So you go ahead and just get as angry as I got about that, but motivation. It's not outside anywhere. It's inside. It's not there right this second because your body isn't so well. Mine wasn't so well. My body really did not want to go outside and do some heavy physical activity. My body was tired. It's not laziness, it's a habit. It's a habit of inactivity, a habit of bad food, a habit of non-thinking because you're so confused and you don't know what to do. Those habits are about to be exchanged. There's no question about that. One moment, at the moment of the old habit. Very conscious, very intentional. Your intention, I don't care what anybody else in your life wants. Your intention only. For a minute. For a minute you can do that. And what I did is I remembered, I reminded, and I redid. And it took a minute sometimes, and I really had to just stay with it. Now, then you increase your response to your ability to say, it's enough. You can do that. There's a third thing. A very exciting moment in my life, and it's about to be a really exciting moment in your life. It's the mine of motivation. I just made that up, but it is. It's mining for motivation. You can find it's all there. It's all there available for you. Your actions. I'm not talking about like, you've got to like change your actions or no, your literal action every time your ex-husband calls. That was my thing. Every time I would get off the phone and I would talk about a habit that didn't help me get to the end result that I wanted. Every time, you want to fill in that blank? Every time, just reacting over and over, repetitive, it's just old, over and over again. Reacting. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. You have to change the course of one of the most important actions you'll ever take. It's very professional. It's pro. It's hard to say it in this day and age, and you'll know why. Because the fact is pro, action, not reaction. Pro, you, what you want. But done, professional, yours, not over and over again. In, 60 seconds, make it a minute, a literal minute. I had to do that because I needed to know exactly what I had to do. 1 minute, you're reaching for it, and the first thing you do is just stop. Just stop, just keep your hand there, just don't go any further than that. Just don't sit down on the sofa. Just stay in the, I do not have time to exercise tonight. I will do it tomorrow. I will do it tomorrow. 1 minute, that's all I want. 1 minute before you go sit down. 1 minute of your intention, in the privacy of your own brain, your intention. That's how you exchange habits that don't work. In the privacy of your own brain, 1 minute before you eat the food that you just done eating because you don't like what it ends up looking or feeling like. 1 minute before, you, in your own life, 60 seconds of your intention, an amazing, astounding, instant increase to your response to the ability to make a choice that works for you and is better for you. For you to stop the redoing, stop the rewind. To begin actions, always and forever, that get you the end result you want. Motivation is in the process of doing. Raising my children and the motivation of family and love has absolutely been in the process of doing. Love begets love. Oh, by the way, I'd like to say, love is an action word, it's a verb, and the way to be loving is to act loving. I think that's a really valid point. Just like the way to be motivated is to do motivating things in the process of doing. The way to be inspired is to give yourself a little bit of something that's like, oh my God, that's fabulous. Just for you. That's very inspiring. To give yourself. The reason that I really do what I do, really, is because it is just outrageous to me as a 48-year-old infomercial queen, ex-fat woman, opinionated, whatever. It is intolerable to me that something this simple, what you put into your body, what you feed your babies, you know, things that are good for you, oxygen and strength and energy and outdoor activities and breathing and once in a while moving and going, that we have lost such contact with that. It was sad to me. It was a morning that I couldn't believe what I had done because I just didn't understand. There was no shame or any guilt, and there never will be. The fact is, to get back to that intuitive wisdom, to get back to giving you what you deserve, to get back to the basics, fundamentally important, biochemically indisputable. Nobody anymore can deny the absolute fact of the epidemic obesity matter, of the horrifying statistics in health in this country, of the truth of many people's lives, the reality of your life, the simplicity that was lost. Eating good things. Giving your body the things that all bodies have to have. There isn't a body alive that doesn't need oxygen. You need nutritious food, not food that you don't even recognize, not food that's been through a vat and that's not food. You don't need that food. Refined, it's done. It's way done. It's not good. All of these things are here for you. All of these things are going to be in your life with this program. They are. That's why I love this program. And you're going to make sure you and I connect. Whenever you doubt, motivation, oh, I'm overwhelmed, because you're going to be. Whenever you're afraid, I don't know if I could do this, this is ridiculous. I mean, because I've tried this a million times. Whenever anybody, and if they do criticize you, by the way, divorce them. But besides that, when the world hits you, you're going to come back here. And you're going to understand that you can reconnect, that it takes a minute. That you can do it intentionally. You can increase your response to, abilities you don't even know you have yet, but that's about to happen. You can change any action you want. You can burn fat, you can increase strength, so you pretty much can solve the problems of over fat and unfit forever. There's nothing more motivating than that. Because when you heal, when I healed, when this woman healed, when you heal, your family will heal. Your community, believe me. And I, without a doubt, know the world will. Because when the mothers get well, there's a chance somebody can stand for all that is so obviously just a debacle. Motivation has everything to do with it, but never again will you be looking for it. Never again. That's what changing your life is really all about. How simple is that?